I think the next spot the Revolutionary Army will attack will be at the gondola base at the Red Line. On both sides of the Red Line, they have to use those gondolas. I think it's gondola in One Piece. They have to use the gondolas to go up and down the Red Line. Hey guys, good afternoon. Merch Hunter Ricky here, and today I want to talk a little bit about the next move of the Revolutionary Army. Dragon and Sabo and Ivankov were last seen talking around the coffee table about the events of the Reverie, where Sabo walked in on the Gorosei murdering King Cobra. He also launched an attack on them all at once, including Imu. All 5 Gorosei and Imu, he launched a fire fist at them. It was unsuccessful. This caused them to turn into their Gorosei forms, like their demon forms, and Imu turned into this like shadowy monster. That was crazy, and genuinely one of my favorite series of chapters. That volume's going to be insane, and all in all, I think that Sabo piece was one of the funnest parts of the recent chapters of Egghead Island specifically. Like that whole flashback is just amazing. But they've now stricken at the food source of the world nobles, right? They've also now begun to attack the ships surrounding the world nobles, like around both sides of the Red Line. That way they can no longer continue to get their supplies. They've also begun to hit them financially, and that means I think 6 or 7 countries have cut off all Celestial Dragon tribute to the world government. So seeing the multiple phase plan come into fruition is great, but there needs to be a step 3. Now, Dragon has already brought up that the Holy Knights are going to get involved soon, and I believe that with the introduction of Figurlin Garland, and then seeing a couple of them, a couple more of them at the God Valley flashback during the human extermination games or whatever, basically we are on the precipice of getting to them, right? These Holy Knights, I assume they're going to be like your standard CP0 agents, but all I mean by that is like their powers, right? I assume they're going to be on a much higher echelon, and they're going to be stronger than the average CP0 member, right? They're going to be much higher than Lucci. They're going to be much higher than Kaku. One of these guys running into Luffy is going to be stressed, and in Gear 5, he might not even be hurting them to his max potential, right? I'm going to assume that they're all great at wielding weapons, and they are proficient in Haki. So that's already 2 of the power systems in One Piece that they excel at. Will they have Rokushiki? More than likely. Now, will they have Devil Fruits? That is the question of the day. I don't think they will. I don't think they need them. They kind of look down on Devil Fruit users to begin with anyways, right? So yeah, if the Holy Knights aren't Devil Fruit users, I find that to be incredibly dangerous, because that's going to show a little bit of a strength advantage over your typical pirate crew, especially if these people have sea stone weaponry or a unique brand of Haki like Shanks with his Wi-Fi Haki and the scream he did at the end of Film Red. We saw that Haki scream get introduced from Warcurry in the canon. I mean, right now these Holy Knights, they have a lot to live up to, because we're seeing the Gorosei in action. So the Holy Knights are supposed to be, the world government Holy Knights Gorosei. So having the Gorosei already in action, I think, hurts the Holy Knight's presence a little bit, because now we're not expecting them to win. We're not expecting them to do a lot of damage. So, like with Blackbeard, they're going to have a lot of, telling, but also a lot of showing, because people like to say Blackbeard off-screen, but he does a lot of things up front, but Oda doesn't want us to see the whole situation, So I think that might be the same thing with the Holy Knights. Like, we'll see them fight, but we might not see the whole fight, just so we don't see if they have a crazy power that we haven't seen yet. Me personally, I hope that they're Rokushiki'd out with good Haki as well, and they have sea stone weapons. That's my goal. Like, we never see anyone with sea stone weapons except Smoker and that sea stone nail thing in Wano. I want more of that, because that's a good counter for Devil Fruits, So I just want to say that I think the next spot the Revolutionary Army will attack will be at the gondola base at the Red Line. On both sides of the Red Line, they have to use those gondolas. I think it's gondola in One Piece. They have to use the gondolas to go up and down the Red Line. The one time we saw someone using it, and this is kind of where my theory started to bud even back then, I thought it would be a good spot for them to destroy it. One, Sabo has been on it. He knows how it works. Karasu has flown up and down the red line. He's seen how those bondolas work as well. And Morley, yes, Morley has used her devil fruit to push her way into the red line and climb up it at her leisure. So the Revolutionary Army specifically does not need the use of the bondolas to traverse the red line, whereas the Celestial Dragons kind of rely on that, I assume. They probably have some sort of personal aircraft. At least one or two Celestial Dragons do. If Morgan's has a freaking hot air balloon, a Celestial Dragon has to have at least one, but I don't think all of them have that, because they're all too stupid and too lazy to be investing in things when they already have a perfectly good gondola over there and, a walkway powered by slaves. So they're not, I don't put it past the Celestial Dragons at all to be unprepared in any capacity, because they suck. And that's their whole motif, is that they suck. So having them be prepared would go against Celestial Dragonness, I can see having the typical Celestial Dragon necessities on you, which is, your air suit or whatever, your bubble helmet and a gun, right? And then your two suit-wearing bodyguards. Maybe a slave or two with you that is proficient in combat. But for the most part, Celestial Dragons rely on the manpower of slavery. They don't really do anything. Even some of them don't even walk on their own when they have perfectly good slaves to ride around and carry them. See? So striking at the Bondola after already having stricken at their food supply, and more notably having started to slowly take away their funds, right? Because now they're hitting them financially too by having that 8-nation uprising. Maybe they wiped Lulusi off the face of the earth to make a point, but that's still money they're not getting in their tribute every month, And from here on out, this now becomes a war of attrition that does not suit the Celestials. As long as the red line has no ability to actually have crops on it, or at least the Celestial Dragons seem to be too lazy to grow them themselves and too dumb to get their slaves to do it for them, well, you guys now have put yourselves in the pickle to where the Revolutionary Army found a way to attack you. They took your food, and now they're taking your money. So to strike at the bondolas, right, that's going to take away your mobility. So now you won't even be able to go get food, should you want to, right? As a Celestial Dragon, this is the planet you own, right? Everyone's your slave, everyone's your bitch. But now you got the Revolutionary Army coming up and down the red line to wage war on you. They have taken your bondolas after taking your food and your finances. At this point, you are now destitute on top of the red line. Who knows how desperate these Celestial Dragons will get, but I think this is the best time right now as the end of Egghead starts to make itself known. I know that sounds weird, but this is the beginning of Egghead's end, right? Instead of having Dragon and the Revs show up at Egghead, because I honestly don't want them to. I think that's dumb. They already got enough backup. The Straw Hats don't need any more help, damn it. They got a giant robot and 2 Luffys, okay? So they're good. What we need now is to see some action everywhere else in the world, and for the revolutionaries to start putting their damn foot down and draw out those holy knights. Striking at the bondolas, the main way of getting off the red line for the Celestials, I feel like that's step number 1. The holy knights will have to come out after that, right? At the very least, to protect the people who are going to be sent out to fix the bondolas. And overall, at the point of getting redundant, I'm just going to stop my theory here. But yeah, for the most part, the revolutionaries now have a good time to attack, and there's no better area to attack than those bondolas. And that's about all I have to say. So, yeah, have a good day, and thanks for listening to my theory.